not video because it was edited. I mean, that's the level of crap I deal with, man. And people say, well, sue them. Well, I'll leave it at that. My lawyers have asked me not to say anything, but you notice I've been countersuing folks and filing anti-slapback suits and everything else. So it's coming. And we got their ass, man. We got their ass. There it is. Megyn Kelly caught editing tapes with demonized Alex Jones. Yeah, fast forward on that a little bit. It'll actually show where they mess with the audio. I don't even know this is the right one. Yeah, keep skipping ahead, guys, because you'll see Megyn Kelly on TV. Her on Fox News. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. You got to skip ahead a lot more. There it is. Go back. You see that? That's me talking about, but edited. They edited it. Talking about the Middle East. Okay, that's good. Thank you. That's it. And then I show you the original source with me in studio actually saying it and show how they edited it. So that's what I'm dealing with, Joe. I know you're a busy guy and you know me and all this stuff, but I'm here to tell you what I really said, and you have enough power when you hit a lot of mainstream people to actually show that and expose the whole thing. Let's continue.
Don't you think? Look, I think he's a great guy as a person. I'm not attacking him. I just, when he goes crazy, he gets mad at me. I want to hug him.
I love when you told me the story about trucks pulling up in front of your house and they could see through your walls.
They probably can do that.
And they do that in different neighborhoods. You know,
they probably can do something like that.
But then after 5 of those...
Yeah, pause again. I told people 20 years ago that they had helicopters with ground-penetrating radar that could look through your walls. And like 5 years later, it was all over the news. I mean, the Microsoft Kinect box 9 years ago, it was in Wired magazine that it uses the radio frequency stuff and can look through your walls and see you taking a dump or having sex with your girlfriend. That was all over the news, man. So Joey Diaz goes, well, after 7 or 8 of these, yeah, there's USA Today, Joey. A decade after I told you. And see, that's the thing. It's like I'm the bad guy, that I'm informed, the media misrepresents what I've said, and then my old friends, yeah, what year is that? 2015. You can watch my film, Police State 2000, 1999. 16 years before, and I show that damn device out of a frickin' police catalog. And by the way, Joe Rogan is as smart as I am, or smarter. I'm not just kissing his ass, but he's even smarter in person. And that's what pisses me off, Joe, is you know full damn well. Continue.
And this is my experience, and he'll tell you something that you got to sit there and go, what the am I doing sitting here? But that's cool. That's Alex, and we accept him for what the he is. I just thought there was a civil war starting today. I read on Twitter.
That's what he was saying.
War. The Democrats are going at it today, so somebody's shooting somebody, so who knows?
So just to calm Alex down, nobody's telling me what to say. No one's telling me what to do. I'm not involved in the New World Order.
Who's the New World Order?
Just
enlighten me about the New World Order.
I'm not sure. I'm not
pause
involved,
again. Okay. Type in world government in crisis if Trump gets elected. Bono says the EU and world government systems are falling. The UN's falling. It's unelected big world government corporations coming in controlling nation states. And people are pulling out of it all over the world. See what's happening with the Brexit? See what Trump's doing? We're not going to have a bunch of secret multinational groups controlling everything. And again, I could stop this tape 100 times because... Joe, I'm not saying anybody's telling you what to say. You're smart enough to know how to act and how to behave to have the system not censor you. That's the issue. Yes, the global government is under attack. Globalism is falling. It's the big global news, brother. I'm on the phone. I'm not going to brag, but I'm on the phone with European leaders on a routine basis, talking about strategies for the future and asking me to help quarterback stuff in Europe. I don't have the money, the energy, the people. But I've got major leaders in Europe ready for InfoWars to come in and run major resistance operations in the PSYOPs divisions. And then I've got to sit here to my fellow Americans, drunk on entertainment and all the rest of it, making jokes about it. And I'm not saying Joe's doing that. I appreciate him and Joey, but you notice they just keep going, oh, there's supposed to be a civil war today. No, in the Civil War, the way the media was describing it wasn't coming. And I described that in my own video. Let's continue.
For Alex to know, not involved.
Who are those people you eating dinner with the other night? Were you at the New World Order?
Who's the dinner people?
The people you say you were eating with smart people. Who are those
they
people?
just, these are all podcasters and former professors and all these different people that are doing different things together.
You scared me the other day, though. You had Eddie on the ropes, right? He was thinking you went back with the CIA.
What?
Yeah, you got people
Eddie?
on the ropes. Sure.
What are you talking about?
You know, ain't nothing with the CIA. Who knows?
What?
Nothing. Okay. Don't worry.
What are you saying?
Don't worry about nothing. Eat a cheaper chew. It's the 4th of July. What do you care?
Here, let's just stop the tape. No, Joe, I'm with the CIA. We're not saying you're with the CIA. And I wasn't with the CIA 25 years ago when I started out. I was with good elements of the CIA when Donald Trump got elected and tried to take the country back from the globalists, because we're under globalist control. The communist Chinese, the EU, Hollywood, the big banks, they say they run this country and they broke its back. So forget the CIA, it's bigger than Coca-Cola. Come at the CIA like it's mysterious or cool, like talking about the post office. The CIA gets its talking points from me, Joe, and other patriots, not the other way around. I run the CIA, Joe. The American people run the CIA, Joe. Our will runs the country. We're taking it back. And you know full well about that too, Joe. You know about the CIA. You're out there in the middle of Hollywood. You know damn well, and we've talked about it. Continue.
No fireworks like CBS Radford.
I think conspiracies are fun. And that's part of the problem with conspiracies. They're fun. They're fun to chase down. They really are. They're interesting.
I'll tell you what's fun to chase down. To read about one and to absorb it by yourself.
Yeah.
Once I get into a room with 3 men and we're on a conspiracy for 48 minutes, that's when I get aggravated.
Well,
that's what I don't ever want to talk about. That's what that kills me. I don't have the time to discuss whether the moon landing or not. We all
stop
have
right
an
there.
idea what.
Joey Diaz and Joe Rogan know all about the UFC and who owns it. And Dana White, who's a really good guy, by the way, Americana, but then the family behind it, who haven't done bad. They've launched a major franchise as big as the NFL. And they've not been leftist political hacks. So I admire the UFC. I admire Dana White. I admire the American family behind it. I'm not going to get into that. But now you got Middle Eastern money coming in. And, you know, the way they have controlled the market, the way they've gone in and dominated the things they've done, I mean, you could call that a conspiracy. I wouldn't call it a criminal conspiracy, but it's been, you know, it's been pretty strong arm. And I get it. You want the EU or Russia running UFC in the U.S.? I mean, I get it becomes a strategic issue. But don't play dumb, guys. Don't sit there and play dumb about what Las Vegas is with your audience like you don't know full well, Joe Rogan, and told me 20 plus years ago all about it. And I already know about it myself. Let's continue.
We think happened. Guess what? I really don't want to talk about it. Not on the 4th of July.
Yeah, no.
Hit pause again.
The problem with them.
We're taking the country back on 4th of July. I said we're launching our second American Revolution that's informational, that's free market, that's cultural. They're launching their intimidation, their censorship, their bullying, their physical attacks. Dozens of people arrested trying to shoot members of Congress and state legislatures on the July 4th. Attacks all over the country. I'm right. I told the truth. I raised the alarm. And God damn it, I'm sick of other men who I know aren't pussies sitting there on the frickin' sideline, man. When you guys know full damn well about every bit of this, Joey Diaz, go back to it.
Not on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, don't talk about foreign
with
globalist
them
powers
is
trying to take over America on the 4th of July, because that's what it's all about. Don't talk about what America is on the 4th of July. Don't celebrate we're bringing the country back. Imply that those of us that talk about criminal groups and what they're up to, and somehow we're pissing on America when we're the ones bringing it back. Continue.
There's a tendency is that when people get really into conspiracy theories, they're into everything being a conspiracy. that's not like they're into conspiracy theories and also into the history of Cuba. They can give you a detailed history of some really crazy that went down. Like how many people that are really into conspiracy theories
We do all that.
could give you a rundown on how Castro took over Cuba, which is like a real thing that happened.
Well, that was the CIA.
In, our parents' lifetimes.
They double-crossed
Right?
him.
Think about that. How many people that are into whether or not there's bases on the moon know about, all these different things that have happened through human history. The Mongols, the Roman Empire, the Greek Empire. There was crazy that definitely really
we covered
happened. All the stuff that happened during the Vietnam War.
We have them all
the
on.
stuff that happened during the Nixon administration. All that stuff's real. It's fascinating. Fascinating to look into. But then you get to dumb ones like, oh, God. We're
Bigfoot?
discussing whether or not the Earth is flat? Is this a real conversation? Like, people really doing that? Satellites aren't real?
Go on social media. Don't lose that goddamn mind.
You'll find a bunch of people that'll agree with you, too. Gotta be so careful about not listening to scientists.
I'm going to tell you what else I saw.
No, that's not me. And some of that's a misrepresentation of what 10th Planet guy talks about. Yeah, I know who he is. I just don't want to get into it. Guys popped in my ear. Eddie Bravo. I don't know what to say at this point. I mean, that's all we cover on my show is the history and the admissions and all of it. And that's what we do. So I'm glad Joe reached out. I told him months ago, I said, I'm going to try to call you back. You keep saying about Sandy Hook and this and that. Here's what I really said. I sent him clips and just no response. But see, you'd think of the media world, if I was one of the biggest podcasts he ever did, even though it was censored, that he won't be back on. It isn't about me getting back on. It's about that, no, you're not on because you're number one. And it's the same thing of, in the Americana system, what is the most successful and what the people want is what you get. Under collectivist systems, you get the opposite. You think, wait, collectivist is what everybody wants. No. The globalists create the fake collective, then you are all slaves. I'm an individualist collectivist, meaning individualists go out, pick their ideas, promote together, vote in the free market of ideas, and then collectively we tend to choose what's the best and what's known to be the top of the line of culture, science, medicine, ideas, you name it. And so I get that Joe wants to be friends with everybody. That's great. But the globalists aren't going to let Joe do that. And absolutely, there are all these crazy-ass conspiracy theories on YouTube that YouTube promotes. They don't shadow ban people talking about the 20 different races of aliens and secret bases and our government's run by aliens and all this stuff that I didn't say. They'll edit that and play that. I'm not the one that covers all that stuff. I mean, Joe's the one that had a TV show on Discovery, History, Spike, what was it? Where it was like Bigfoot and all this other stuff. And, Joe had fun with it. Fine, I didn't judge him going, man, that's really discrediting. You're doing Bigfoot, running around the woods. When Jesse Ventura's show got like that in the second season, I said, I don't want to be part of this. And I'm not up here on some high horse. It's just that that's where I stand. Okay, I'm going to end this piece before I go live in 35 minutes at Infowars.com/show and radio and TV stations across the country where they can't shadow ban us for now. So if you're watching these live feeds, remember they don't want these to get out. With a compilation just of some of the Democrats and others engaged in violence, shooting people, attacking people. Hell, we didn't even add CNN saying the guy that shot Congressman Scalise was a hero. Dude didn't add a lot to this because there's so many clips. But here's the media saying nobody wants a civil war. There's no call for civil war. But USA Today says top professors say we're in a civil war. They say we're in a civil war. I say, well, they think we're in one. I think they're going to ratchet up through the summer into the fall so you could mark July 4th of when they think they're launching it. That turns into, I said, they would all pull out guns and start shooting everyone and the whole country would burn down July 4th. I didn't say that. And see, that's how this works because they think you're not watching. They think you're not paying attention. But you know what? People are. So let's go ahead and go to this compilation of the left calling for civil war or saying we're in a civil war. Hell, from Rob Reiner to Bill Maher to Michael Moore to people carrying out violence at an intensifying rate while they call for violence and call for us all being Nazis and come after us and bully us and ban free speech and shadow ban the web and censor everybody. And then all of us that have been proven right, predicting this was coming, we're somehow discredited, and even our old friends laugh at us. Here it is. Hey, Joe. Back it up, yeah. I love you and Joey. You're real cutie pies. If you ever want to come into Austin, Texas, I want to give you a big hug, too. You come on my show. So I just hope someday, once we win this war and turn things around, that we can sit back and, have a beer or something and talk about the old days, because I just want to see you on my side, or on the side of free speech, which I think you are. But I just want to be with you in history. I like you, man. You're a really cool guy. And so is Joey and the rest of that whole crew. So we're all Americans. We all have free speech. But let's go ahead and here's the left saying we're in a civil war. I just said it was coming. They say we're in it. Here it is.
And it goes on, and you see the people that he hires that are in his administration, and we see that this now becomes the last battle of the Civil War. And we're fighting it right now. And we're going to win. We're going to win.
And so how are you guys planning to disrupt them throughout the day?
Starting with everything from checkpoint blockades to traffic blockades. The plan is to make the entire inauguration a total cluster.
Nobody's really supposed to know about me. So the Chicago protest, when they shut all that was us. It was more him than me, but none of this is supposed to come back to us, because we want it coming from people. We don't want it to come from the party.
Yesterday he was a monster, a racist, a misogynist, and today, well, he's our president. We must give him a chance. We're not giving him a chance. No peace, no peace, no Trump, no peace, no Trump.
Already, you have members of your cabinet that have been booed out of restaurants. Taking up at their house.
Can you imagine if these scumbags actually ran the country, these mentally ill people?
No sleep. No peace, no sleep. And guess what? We're going to win this battle.
Win this battle?
How does he sleep at night?
More calls for uprising in a minute.
Deep divisions along party lines and fears over immigration have raised concerns for the ultimate fate of the U.S. Almost a third of Americans polled said they thought a second civil war was possible.
But at a party this week on Martha's Vineyard, a woman said, if Dershowitz were here tonight, I'd stab him through the heart. This is a Martha's Vineyard woman.
Furthermore, the same poll indicated that roughly 60% of Americans believe that backlash to Donald Trump's policies could turn violent. The debate surrounding Trump's immigration policies and the media fuming over it, the gun control debate, and the White House and the intelligence community not getting along, that has been quite explosive at times.
Jeff Good says a man he doesn't know pulled up to his house and told him he needed to take down this flag in his front yard. Good says when he told him no, the man punched him.
Right in the face. In fact, he got to use like a claw method.
Good says instinctively he tried to hit him back, but got his arm stuck in the man's car as he sped off.
This is where it happened.
Good says he was dragged about 30 feet.
For the president. You ain't supporting
That plan is a campaign to make America white again.
And finally, comrades, I believe with all my heart and soul that this is the party that will lead the revolution to take the White House down, that will make the United States of America a socialist country. The young people in this room will see it. The young people in this room will build it. So all power to the youth, all power to the revolution. Black Lives Matter. Si se puede.
You work for Daily Caller.
I have the right to
You work for the other side.
I have
You
the right
work for the other side. While they round up your Latina brothers and sisters, you take their money. You take their money. You are the racist.
ICE is not welcome in this country. HSI is not welcome. I don't support what they do.
I think it's a blasphemy.
We're really calling on the community to say that this is not okay, that we're going to fight back. We're not going to let people just disappear like this.
Again, Oakland Police Department confirming this had to do with a federal criminal search warrant that had to do with human sex trafficking of juveniles. That's really the information that we have been we just received moments ago.
Something like, is your nickname herpes because you're not necessarily the most dangerous person in the administration, but you're very unpleasant, totally incurable, and you always show up when we're about to get
If you vote for Trump, then you, the voter, you, not Donald Trump, are standing at the border like Nazis, going, you here, you here. And I think we now have to flip it, and it's a given the evilness of Donald Trump.
This is becoming an authoritarian state, and we need a grassroots effort today. Build up the tension. We have to turn this into a 3-day story. And what I want people to do is to commit, just like I will, that we would go to Washington, D.C. if such a crazy, insane act occurred, and we would lay down in front of the tanks.
Well, I'll join a million other people surrounding the United States Capitol. I will stand there. I will put Bill, let me tell you something. This judge goes through for the rest of at least, all of our lives. It's a right-wing court. That's it. It's over.
Combined with the White House and the Congress,
of course. Yes. And if this is the last American president...
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
What's Uncle Tom but for white women who disappoint other white women?
One way you get rid of Trump is a crashing economy, so please bring on the recession.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
There are politicians who are irresponsibly calling for the harassment of anybody who feels different, who thinks differently than they do. So they're calling for violence. And what this is going to lead to is there's going to be some casualties in that. And it's the beginning of a civil war between Americans. When American politicians are telling people to mob up and harass anybody who feels differently, then it's the end of free speech, it's the end of free thought.